So this is Holly Courtier, 38, found alive in Zion National Park. She survived 12 days with no food, no water, allegedly. And now there's a criminal investigation open by Washington County Sheriff due to allegations that she may have been trying to fraudulently obtain money through GoFundMe donations. So here's what happened. She is experienced hiking. Allegedly, she had no food, no water. She did not have proper gear. On October 6th, she took a shuttle bus to the grotto parking lot. She was found October 18th. Allegedly by a little boy that was walking in the park with his mother, who spotted a hammock. Her daughter had gone on the news, said, "I just want her to come home. We're looking for you, going to find you. Don't give up on us." And crews found her. According to her family, she had lost a lot of weight, had bruises all over her body. At the beginning of the search, rescuers found her vehicle in another town. On Sunday, her family had released a statement. "We are overjoyed that she was found safe. We would like to thank rangers, search teams, who relentlessly look for her day and night." Well, they must have really sucked, because she was only like a quarter mile away from the entrance. People who were generous with their time, resources, and support. This wouldn't have been possible. And then the National Park Service said they were delighted in being able to reunite Miss Cortier with her family based on a credible tip. Law enforcement found her, and she was able to leave on her own capability with minimal assistance. According to her sister, she was severely dehydrated, hurt, and praying to be found. She lost 15 pounds, and the doctor was shocked. She was so dehydrated. Her potassium levels were extremely low. She went to spend a day or two at the park, to spend a day in nature and disconnect, and was on a religious fasting. And it turns out, her sister said, her kidney function was very bad, and her kidneys were starting to shut down. Her daughter Kaylee told CNN early on in the hike, her mother had hit her head and then decided to stick close to the river, thinking it was her best shot at survival. And here comes this guy, Sheriff Sergeant Darrell Cashin, who thinks the whole thing is preposterous. There's no way she could have lived off river water for 2 weeks, and this is why Virgin River is full of cyanobacteria, which produces dangerous nervous system toxin called anatoxin. And according to the National Park Service, when in abundance, toxin concentrations can elevate to levels that affect the health of organisms, including people, pets, and livestock. Even very small pieces of the growth may contain enough anatoxin to cause medical emergencies. Cashin said if she had been drinking that water, she would have become very ill. Her sister rebutted that and said she did not drink the water. She was aware of the toxins, and so Cashin said she either had another clean water source, and if she did have one, where was it? Because they're not aware of one. He said the Virgin River is not that source. She would have become very, very ill and probably unable to come out on her own. If she did have a good water source, what was it? So they do say that standard recreational water filtration will not remove the toxins. Her daughter Kaylee then said her mother didn't actually drink any water from the river other than wetting her lips and spitting it back out. And if you really do the research on the cyanobacteria, it can be absorbed through, your skin, your mouth, everything. You could still get really sick or possibly die. So her sister attempted to clarify again. She didn't actually drink any water from the river other than wetting her lips and spitting it back out. She was very well aware of toxins in the river. So, if it can be absorbed through your eyes, nose, and mouth, it doesn't make any sense at all. And what also doesn't make sense is surviving 12 days with absolutely no water. You would be dead, within 2 or 3 days. We were never implying that she drank the water. She had planned to be in the park for a journey of fasting, to disconnect from technology without a cell phone, while reading her Bible. She was only wearing leggings and a t-shirt. She endured nighttime temperatures in the 40s. She just had a thin blanket and a sweater with her. She suffered a severe concussion, which caused her to be disoriented. She was found on the day that park rangers said that they were going to wind down the search for her. She said her sister needed minimal assistance because of adrenaline. Really. She said it's so blown out of proportion. When you think you're going to die and you see anyone, you literally get giddy inside. And that's what happened with her. She knew she was going to see her daughter and see her family. So you definitely have some adrenaline working for you at that point, which is bullshit. Her sister tried to clarify the little assistance meant that a ranger was standing behind her in case she fell down from weakness and she had to stop every 5 feet to take a rest. She wouldn't be able to walk out of there, okay? 12 days with no water, you'd be dead. But supposedly she walked out of there and her family took her to the hospital. The ambulance didn't even take her. So she was scared and traumatized. So Sergeant Daryl Cashin, in his experience as an advanced EMT, says, if she had been drinking that river water for 12 days, there's a high possibility she would have died. Without any water, she would have died in 2 to 3 days. Her family states she hit on her head on the tree, became disoriented, but she did have a Sharpie and marked down the days on a tree trunk before she was able to take a few steps and collapse. But if you look at how precisely it's drawn on this tree, it's kind of a little bit higher up. It just doesn't make any sense to me. That's my opinion. crews had provided canines and several search and rescue teams looked for her. They had GPS tracks of every trail. So it's just kind of weird that they missed her. Cashin says they had everything about Holly they possibly could have gotten to give an indicator of what her behavior was like, of where she might have gone. He said there's a lot of country up there, unless if you go off trail, you're not going to be found unless you want to be found. And if they found somebody in her condition with that kind of severe head injury, they would have called for transport to check on her. The fact that it didn't happen tells me they did not find any significant injury to her, because she was able to walk out of the park on her own. He said originally she left California in the middle of the night. She didn't tell her family where she was going. So basically what he's saying is none of this adds up, because there would have been thousands of people walking past her in the canyon, and people would have been yelling for her, and she didn't signal she was there. But family insists that's where she was. This is where she's kind of like in a, they say it's highly vegetated, but it looks like it's pretty clear right there where she was. Anyway, I'll keep you posted on this story. Talk to you later, guys. Love you. Bye.